Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of actually Old Crow Hiking Show. This is not As the Crow Flies Hiking. This is an interview of J Ben Hikes and Old Crow Hiking Show. You know who came up with Old Crow Hiking Show? He did.
This guy, because this guy is old.
We were hiking sometime and he was like, I was saying something stupid, old or whatever, and he's like, Old Crow Hiking Show. So that's how this came to be.
Yeah.
I've been hiking with J Ben for about a year now, year and a half.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to check out his channel, J Ben Hikes. It looks like the AC/DC kind of logo. It's really cool. Absolute beast of a hiker. I can't keep up with him, obviously, but it's fun to hike with him and the other guys. I've got some questions for you. I actually wrote them down.
Great. I don't even know what the questions are because I didn't read the text that you sent out.
I kind of gave him a heads up. And just so you know, I'm kind of watching him because I don't want him to step back, because if he steps back, it's about 100-foot drop off.
Yeah. I'm kind of freaked out right now, actually, but this makes for good video.
Yeah, I guess so. Good backdrop.
Yeah, look at the backdrop.
This is not a green screen. This is, we're actually on a cliff.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go with 10 questions. Number one, how'd you get started in backpacking?
Probably about 2009. I went out with some guys to the Sipsey Wilderness in Alabama, and that was it. I was needing something adventurous because I love to snow ski, but I can't go to Colorado every single weekend, every single year.
Expensive.
So a little expensive and inaccessible, and this filled that void.
How'd you get your trail name?
So J Ben Hikes. I've been called JB Hikes, J Bend Hikes, J this, J that, but it's J Ben Hikes. So JBEN was when I was at Auburn at college. That was just my first initials of my first name, and then the first 3 letters of my last name, which is Benefield. So Jeff Benefield. That's what we used on everything. That's how we put our name on everything. So I got called J Ben a lot, and I just went with it, and here I am. And I like to hike, so it goes with J Ben Hikes, I guess. So there you go.
Third question. I know this is a loaded question. It depends on the season, but what is your big 3: shelter, backpack, and sleeping bag?
So,
quilt?
Yeah. So shelter is the Zpacks Duplex, Camo Duplex, and then my backpack was next.
Yeah.
It's the Zpacks Custom Arc Blast. It's got about 7 years on it, 7 hiking seasons on it, still going strong. But I'm starting to itch for a new one. And then my sleeping bag is a 10-degree Zpacks overfilled down bag. It's a little overkill for this trip. I'm too cheap to buy another one, but I do have other sleeping bags at home for summertime. That's a lot thinner, but that's just my old reliable.
They don't even do that anymore. Zpacks doesn't overfill stuff like they used to.
No. Like I said, when I first got into this in 2009, Zpacks, which is a lot of my gear, they were they were very cottage, and they were trying to just separate themselves, differentiate themselves into a niche, and so at that time you could kind of put your order in, hey, I want extra fill on this or whatever. Hey, I want my backpack to have extra long side pockets as opposed to the small pockets on the side, and so on. Hey, I don't want a hydration port on it and all that stuff. So they don't do it anymore.
And that was kind of when Zpacks was getting started, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was when they were first getting started. I first started out with an old Walmart bag, and I found out right away that was not going to make the cut. And then I moved on to Gossamer Gear, Mariposa, and I had terrible sweaty back, and I was hiking with friends, and like we all do, we study gear, right? And they had the Arc Blast, and I loved that Arc on the back, and their back wasn't as sweaty as mine, so I promptly sold the Mariposa, and I bit the bullet, and I went ahead and purchased that Arc Blast.
So he's influenced me in that way too, because I've got now the Arc Blast and the Duplex. I've got the Enlightened Equipment quilts, but just absolutely love the Duplex, and basically because I've watched him use them for many years,
Yeah.
and they work great for him, and they I think they work good for me too. So
Yeah.
influencer in that respect as
Yeah.
well. So what is your favorite trail? I know you did a video and on it. So is this still your favorite trail?
The Fiery Gizzard is my favorite trail. You said that you could hike this trail every single weekend.
Yeah.
I could hike this trail every single weekend. It offers so much variety in terrain and everything. You know, we don't have the high 5,000 foot, you know, mountain peaks, but we've got that. We got these cliffs that you could easily die on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here, but then a very close second is the Pin Chin Sky Loop, which is the Pinhoti Chinabee Silent Trail and Skyway Trail loop that's in the Cheaha Wilderness in Alabama.
That's a great loop. I mean, you know, that's one of those that you just got to check out if you're in Alabama. It's a great, like 17, 18 mile loop.
Yeah, definitely a great weekend loop. And we got stuff coming on that, so stay tuned.
Yes.
On that, we got something cooking.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic.
Yeah,
it's gonna be later. The videos will come out, but we're working on getting some YouTubers out and doing some stuff with involving those trails. So
yeah, definitely.
Oh, by the way, he said the Fiery Gizzard. We are on the Fiery Gizzard. I think that was clear, but this is what you get on the Fiery Gizzard behind us.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part of backpacking? Like something specific that you just absolutely brings you back every time?
I would say it goes to the spiritual side of things. I don't worship the creation. I worship the creator that created all this. He's the architect that built all this. And actually, this is his throwaway because of sin and the way he entered the world. But what brings me back to it is that I get time to go into the wilderness, escape the world, and really commune with God. That's what brings me back. And that's very important, you know, in my life. I've shared with you many times on my convictions and who I am in Jesus Christ, and I'll not be ashamed of that, and I'll hold tight to that, because that is the foundation of who I am. But coming out here and being on these trails and spending time with God alone, there's nobody chirping in your ear, no mass media or anything. You can really hear the still quiet voice of God. I mean, I can hear the shushing of the creek down below us, and it's just echoing praise to God right now.
Yeah, and you know, something's funny. Jabin's father-in-law hikes with us a lot.
Yeah.
And when we were in the Smokies, he turned to me one time. We were going down this beautiful place, and his father-in-law said, "Well, this is God's paintbrush."
Yeah.
And that stuck with me. And then also how I found Jabin's channel was his introduction, which says, "Hey, let's go out in the wilderness and cleanse your soul." I think you said cleanse your spirit.
Yeah. So my intro is, it's a little takeoff of a quote from John Muir. And you know, spend a week in the woods and cleanse your soul or cleanse your spirit or something like that. I can't remember. I guess I need to watch it. But if you want to watch it, go to Jabin Hikes and you can watch it. It's on all my opening intros on my videos.
Yeah, if you want to see nature in its finest, I mean, Jabin takes a lot of time and detail to get these shots and do incredible shots. So it's absolutely a joy to watch if you love nature and love seeing things in the backpacking world. All right, so that's your favorite, I think. So what is something that annoys you about backpacking? I mean, it's all fun, you know, to us, but there's always something I think that goes, oh, I don't like this part of it.
I guess when I get home and I have to clean all my gear,
that's a good point.
To just be as candid as possible, I really do hate the graffiti that I see. That it annoys. I actually stopped a guy from carving into something one time, and my wife was just shocked, and she was almost embarrassed. But I pretty much rough talked the guy. Because he had his knife out, you know, carving something in a state park, and that and the trash. And of course, you know, our group, we try to, when we go out, we really try to pick up. I think I've got actually some trash in my pocket I picked up, you know, about 7 miles back. So, you know, the smallest thing, if we all just do one thing, we pick up one thing that on the trail, it'll make it better for the people coming behind us.
Absolutely. Leave no trace. So
that's right.
we practice it, and we try to look at stuff on the trail and pick it up as we go.
That's right.
If you're not backpacking, Jabin, what do you do for fun?
Well, obviously, you know, I have a family. I have you know, a daughter and 2 sons and a wife, and I try to spend time with them. But if I'm not spending time with them. I'm trying to work on my fitness and run and lift and just try to stay as healthy as possible. I'm actually 56 years old, and
he is not.
I'm 44 at the moment of this recording, but so I do that.
Real quickly, some faster questions.
Yep.
What is your favorite book, movie, and TV show if you're into any of those things?
Yeah, so the Bible is obviously something that's very foundational to me. So it's that. But I'm in sales, and I have a book called Action Selling. It's a very good thin book if you're in sales. Action Selling by Dwayne Sparks. Favorite TV show? Well, it has to be right now, The Chosen.
Oh, okay.
And it's really cultivated some curiosity to go back into Scripture and read Scripture. And then what was the other favorite?
TV show, movie, and book. Movie.
Nacho Libre at the moment.
Yeah.
Silly.
Get that coin out of my face.
Yeah.
It's so silly, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Scariest moment on trail?
I was up on Chiha, and I was in a hammock at that time, and I had something that was probably about 10 yards from me just started screaming. And I was watching The Office on my little iPod. I had my earbuds in, but I could still hear it. And I could literally see my heart doing this right here. But I had to get up and go to the restroom, and the guy was with me, he heard me unzip my bug net. He's like, "You going out there?" I'm like, "I'm in a hammock. Whatever it is, if it wants to eat me, it'll eat me." It sounded like a cat, but I think it was a fox. But it was a fox. Yeah, it was very.
They make a weird noise.
Yeah, they do, and they do. So that was it.
All right. So the last question I have to turn over to you is, if you come across people that are getting involved in backpacking or want to get involved, they're new to it, or they want to get better at it, what advice would you give them?
I'd say just, get on YouTube and watch some of those guys, and be mindful that a lot of times they have been in it for a number of years, and they've got their kit dialed in. That doesn't mean that you run out and buy what they have, but you study a cross-sectional view of multiple people, and you listen to people like, you watch stuff like, some of your gear reviews, or Metro, or Leonidas, or, heck, Darwin. He does really good at reviews, and they're very unbiased. Then there's a lot of others out there that you could watch, but go in and talk to people like at REI. They're going to try to sell you something.
Yeah.
So you gotta take that for a grain of salt. But talk to somebody that you have confidence in that actually gets out on the trail, and then they're just a regular person, and they'll guide you in the right direction.
Good points. Well, J-Ben, appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Thanks so much for doing this. It's been a long day of hiking, but we sat down and I said, let's go ahead and get this done. So we came out here to the beautiful overlook, and it kind of freaked me out that we're this close to the ledge, but I'm okay. I get a little freaky with the heights. But anyway,
me too.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Old Crow Hiking Show.
The Old Crow Hiking Show, brought to you by Old Stuff.
Yeah, old stuff like Geritol.
Brought to you by Old Spice.
Old Spice. All right, thank you so much, J-Ben. I appreciate you agreeing to do this.
Yeah.
And please check out his channel, J-Ben Hikes. He's got some of the best videos. They're just absolutely phenomenal. We will see you next time on the next adventure, either As the Crow Flies Hiking or Old Crow Hiking Show, which is this stuff. See you next time.
Bye.